So now that we have already talked about acceptance and self acknowledgement, and we are ready to take responsibility for our lives, we can really take a look at where we are self medicating versus self soothing. Now, we can take the path less traveled. And the good news is that in perimenopause, our entire brains and nervous systems are rewiring. So, this is a wonderful opportunity to make choices, to take responsibility and create change in our life. Right now, we are at the beginning of our next phase. So, it's the perfect time to do this. So, let's talk a little bit about food and addiction. Now, as you remember, we talked about addiction earlier a few days ago, and how addiction, like many of the other habits we're trying to get rid of, us on autopilot, right? Out of control, unconscious. Well, overeating is falls in the same category, and overeating a lot of times doesn't have to do with food itself, but something that's happening in inside. Reaching for food when we're really seeking love, acceptance, happiness, comfort, or something else that we're not getting. So, self medicating, as I mentioned, is a default pattern. When we are stressed and our needs are not being met, self medicating also provides something for us like distraction. So, we're going to lump social media into self medicating. It distracts us from uncomfortable feelings that we're trying to avoid. Alcohol, drugs, compulsive shopping, gambling, over exercising, video games, social media, um, you name it. Any activity that anesthetizes us from the discomfort of addressing underlying problems is self medicating and is usually an addictive behavior. We use it to take the edge off, we use it to escape, we use it to flee our current circumstances in the present moment. We put ourselves into this other reality, or we use distraction to take the edge off, to escape, and to flee. When we don't have good strategies for self soothing, we may be inclined to overeat and abuse alcohol or drugs, bury ourselves in work, spend hours watching TV or on social media. Self soothing has within it something important that we've been talking about, and that is acceptance of our current discomfort, of our current discontent. It's a deliberate decision to do something that will make us feel better in the long term as well as the short term. Self soothing does not involve activities that will ultimately harm us or hurt us or anyone else. Individuals who are able to access their feelings in the current moment rather than stuffing them down or self medicating are much more likely to be happy and healthy in the long term. What's necessary to begin with is that we notice when we are self medicating. When are we avoiding our current circumstances? What are we doing to take the edge off? We have to become aware of that, just in the same way that we need to become aware of our self stories and our self talk. So get curious about what you are numbing from when you find yourself doing a self medicating activity. Stay with the feeling instead of brushing it under the carpet. What is at the root of the feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What do I really need right now? It's not a donut. It's not a cigarette. It's not Instagram. So, your task today is to notice what you are numbing and name it. See you tomorrow.